Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is my show Stranger Than Fiction, where I talk about things that are strange and mysterious and just odd. Um, Today I've got a fun one because I didn't realize how close I was to actually being able to see this one, and now I regret that I did not. So it's in the state of New Mexico, and this is a real thing that you can go and see. I don't know the hours of operation or if it's open to the public, but it's possible. It probably is possible. Anyways, have you ever heard of the Loretto Chapel Staircase? Okay, so we're talking about New Mexico. See the map of New Mexico there? I've been to Roswell. I've been to Alamogordo, Las Cruces. I'm pretty sure I drove through Albuquerque. I don't know why I didn't stop in Santa Fe. Huge missed opportunity. I'm a little mad at myself. Anyways, so here's the story. I'll tell you the story. In 1873, there was this chapel there. There's a chapel there still today, and this is what it looks like in the modern time. And it's known as the Loretto Chapel. And there were nuns there, and they were the Sisters of Laretto. Anyways, they had saved up money, and they decided they were going to do a renovation, and they paid for the renovation, and before the staircase could be built that went up to their choir loft, the carpenter died. So they needed a new carpenter to come in and to build the staircase. So they looked around, and everyone they asked said they couldn't do it. So basically, the original staircase that the original carpenter had planned, it wouldn't fit. And they didn't know what the guy's original plan was, and everything they tried to add to it would not fit. So they were kind of stuck because they couldn't get up to their choir loft. So they finally decided, since they couldn't find a carpenter that could do the job, they decided that they were going to take it into prayer, and they prayed for 9 days straight. And on the 9th day, some guy shows up with a donkey, and when they ask him, hey, who are you? What is going on? He just says, I am the carpenter that is here to build your staircase. So, they meet the guy, and they, strike a deal on a price and everything to do the job. And they leave him be because he asks to work in private, in solitude, and alone, and to not let anybody watch him, is what he asks. So for like 3 months, he is in isolation, working on this staircase. And although the sisters check on him, they kind of like check on him less and less, because every time they check on him, he's okay and he's doing the thing, and right, he's just a dude being a carpenter. Anyways, so the time between when they check on him kind of gets longer and longer a little bit, until finally one day they come in and check on him, and he's not there anymore. But the staircase is, and the staircase has been completed. Well, them being honorable sisters and women of God, they decided, well, we got to pay this guy. So they go out into Laretto, Santa Fe is where it is, and they can't find him. And everyone they talk to has never seen this guy. And so they finally decide, oh, well, one of them has a smart idea. Let's go to the local lumber yard, because they got to know who this guy is, because he got the lumber and used it, and so they got to know, right? So they go to the local lumber yard. They've never seen the guy. And then they say, well, did somebody buy a lot of wood that is from out of town, and can we pay that, and can we pay you for that, because that's got to be this guy? And they're like, no, nobody. So where this guy came from, who he was, where he disappeared to, and where he got the wood, because they never saw him carrying or bringing the wood. He just had it. He showed up with it, right? So it's a mystery. Like, where this guy came from, where he escaped to, how he got the lumber, how he brought it in. And here is the staircase. Let me get rid of these. It's very beautiful. Now, I don't know anything about staircases, but I learned some things in the course of researching this. So the staircase itself has been tested scientifically, and it appears to be similar to a species of Picea spruce, but it doesn't match any other sample of Picea spruce on the face of the earth. Okay, so there are about 35 different species of Picea spruce. There are some that are in North America, so I want to shoot you straight, but there are some in Europe and Asia. Okay, anyways, this staircase is made out of a Picea spruce that does not match any of the other 35. It's Picea spruce, which if you look at it, it's an evergreen tree. Picea spruce does not grow in New Mexico. It grows like in Washington. It grows like, in Oregon, but it does not grow in New Mexico. So somehow in 1873, this older man, because he's described as an older man, appeared out of nowhere with a donkey with wood not from this ecosystem, because that's what it's made out of, is wood not from this ecosystem. Built the staircase alone in isolation. He didn't have an apprentice or a young man that did all his labor for him. It wasn't like a master and apprentice thing. It was just this dude. And he disappeared effortlessly. Okay, now if that wasn't bizarre enough for you, let me supersize you. Okay, go ahead and look at the staircase. It's made in a double spiral, almost like a double helix, right? Which is insanely rare and insanely hard to do, especially by yourself. Okay, and as far as all of the examination has happened over the years, because it's been examined many times, as far as all the examination concludes, there is no glue, there is no nails, there are no screws. The whole thing basically sits and holds itself together by its own weight and gravity. Now, like I said, I am not an expert carpenter. I can barely build simple things in my garage. Okay, I can build simple things. High school bird boxes and mailboxes and stuff like that. I could do that. Okay, but how do you build something like this by yourself with no nails, with no glue, and no screws in 1873? It's a mystery. On top of that, there are 33 steps to this winding staircase. 33 was the age of Jesus when he did his ministries and left this world. And yes, I am a Christian and I love Jesus and he's coming back and he's alive and all those things. But I'm saying 33 is an important number. 33 also has meanings for other organizations, but I don't want to get into that because I'm not affiliated with those organizations and I'm not a part of that. And I don't want to entertain their wackiness. You're not allowed, like if you went there and you were allowed to see it, most people are not allowed to walk on it, to climb it. But the people that have climbed it describe that it sways. It almost doesn't feel solid. It feels like you're stepping on a spongy cloud. So there's room to suggest that there's quite a lot of give and leeway to it, almost like it's flexible. You know how they build buildings to absorb earthquakes, right? So it like flexes. And I've listened to audio of somebody climbing it, and it's not a creaking sound, but it's almost like a clicking sound. I want to relate it to, it's made out of like Jenga blocks, and pulling out the right block or putting in the right block in the right place holds it all together or pulls it all apart is what I want to relate it to. In the end, I think this is a really cool mystery. Not just because I'm a Christian and there's Christian ties here, but because like these nuns were trying to pay this guy and like they needed someone to build their staircase. And not only did he build a staircase, but he built a staircase that to our standards now to this day, we do not understand. Like this double helix thing, it's not very common. It's super rare. How would one person build it by himself without nails or screws? They have not found a single nail or screw or wood glue anywhere on this thing. And that, in that day, is how you would build a staircase. Anyways, I think this is a really cool mystery. I'm really happy to share it with you guys. And we here at The Dragon's Lair want to say thank you for spending your time with us at The Dragon's Lair.